The vortex of creation, where the vibrational version of you is present tense, as far as the creator within you and as far as we are concerned. When you ask for it, it's present tense. But you, bless your hearts, you've gotten so good at exploring the manifestation that you don't want to call it present tense until it's in your driveway. You don't want to call it present tense until others can see it. And we say, oh, it's so slow to have to wait for everybody to be able to see it. It's easy to tune in to stuff that's manifested. So what preachers and teachers have been saying to you for a long time about faith really applies here. Because what faith is a vibrational attitude. What faith is an awareness, a vibrational focus, an attention to what's in this vortex of creation. And if you can focus upon what you've asked for and no longer beat the drum of why you ask for it. I want this magnificent thing because it's so awful not to have it. And because it's so hard over here without it. And because I deserve it, I really deserve it, even though I don't have it, I deserve it. And we say all of that drum beating from the perspective of what is not yet manifested holds you in a holding pattern that will not let it manifest. You have to let go of the absence of what you want before the presence of it can feel into your experience, you see. We want you to feel the reality of this vortex of creation. This is vibrational reality. We're not making this stuff up. Everything that you see that is manifested was first vibrational reality. And once it's been vibrational reality, everything that you see is first a thought upon longer until it takes form. Everything that you see that is manifested was first vibration. And the gap, the amount of time that it takes from the offering of the idea and flowing it vibrationally into your vortex and the full-fledged manifestation of it is as short as no time when you are a vibrational match to what you're asking for. The amount of time it takes for you to manifest things wanted is the amount of time it takes for you to get in the vortex and consistently stay there. So when we say to you, which will be the answer to every question that you ask today, it will be very boring by the end of the day. Go to the vortex, go to the vortex. And so some will say, well, what does that mean? And we say, it means stop doing whatever you're doing that's keeping you out of the vortex. What do I have to do to get in the vortex? Nothing. Well, then how come I'm not in there? Because you're doing stuff that holds you out. Okay, so what do I have to do to get in? Nothing. Well, then how come I'm not in there? Because you're doing stuff that keeps you out. Abraham, are you deaf? Can't you hear what I'm asking? I'm not in the vortex. How do I get in? What do I have to do? Nothing. But you have to stop doing that thing that's holding you out. And your question is fair, because we've never seen anyone who could just stop thinking that thought. Because when you say, I'm not going to think that thought anymore, you're thinking that thought you're not going to think. I'm not going to do that anymore. Have you ever done that? I'm going to quit smoking. Sure you are. I'm not ever going to eat that again after this one. So what you have to do is start doing things that allow you vibrational proximity to the vortex. This vortex that spins in a place of pure positive energy, what that means is no resistant thought. In other words, when you say, I really want, what do you want? Call something out. I really, really want $100,000. I really, really want $100,000. That, if you could leave it right there, is a pure thought. But if your sentiment is, I really, really want the $100,000 that I don't have, not a pure thought. When you say, I want the money because I need it, not pure. I want the money because it is exhilarating and because it gives me freedom and because I can do this and this and this. When you talk about what you want and why you want it, it is usually a pure thought than when you talk about what you want and where it will come from and when it will come and who will bring it and how you will get it. In other words, there's a lot of things you do in your action-oriented exposure to life that hold you in vibrational patterns of disallowance. So we call those vibrational patterns of disallowance resistance. resistance to the natural flow. And whenever you got resistance going on, it's indicated to you by your emotions of resistance. And emotions of resistance are always negative emotion. Emotions of resistance don't feel good, and emotions of allowance feel better and better and better. So if you have an emotion of resistance, so you're angry or frustrated or fitful or worried, when you feel worried, that means you've got this residual of resistance going on that is keeping you out of the vortex. And so you walk around not in the vortex, so comfortable with not being in the vortex that you don't even know what you're missing. But when you take the time to focus yourself into the vortex deliberately, into the vortex where your clarity is and where your exhilaration is, where your perfect rendezvous in every moment with everything that you want, where the universe is able to give you in moment after moment so much full life experience that you wonder why you would ever step out of the vortex. Once you consciously and deliberately spend more of your life inside this vibrational state of being that we are calling the vortex, where your own vibrational point of attraction is so purified by your own deliberate thought focus that you are not setting up your own resistance to your own well-being, then you begin to remember why you were born and what this physical experience was supposed to be about, what you had in mind. It is our promise to you, you did not come to struggle and suffer, but you did come to focus, which means diversity serves you extremely well. But the key is, once you know what you don't want, which helps you to clarify what you do want, give your undivided attention to that. And as you, all day, every day, are determined to get into this vortex, it is our promise to you that you'll get in and you'll get in and you'll get in. And sure, the vortex is going to spit you out. Because you don't have the ability to get in there and think only pure thoughts about everything. You're a creator, you're a sifter, you're a sorter, you're a diversified person exploring contrast, and it is the most normal thing in the world for you to get in and the vortex to spit you out. But you meant to spend way more time in this vortex than you are being in this vortex. It was your plan to be mostly in there and occasionally out, and we got to tell you, you've been out of the vortex long enough to create enough in the vortex work for 20 or 30 lifetimes. In other words, you really don't owe it to anybody to get out there and struggle yourself into clarity. We think you know what you want. You know what you want. So, vibrationally speaking and emotionally speaking, this doorway to this vortex, this vibrational state of being, on the emotional scale is somewhere between hope and belief. In other words, if you are in despair or anger or revenge, you're nowhere near the vortex. And even though who you really are is in there and law of attraction is calling you home, you've got enough resistance going that you're not going easily. And that's what negative emotion is. Did you get that? Negative emotion is the larger part of you calling you, pulling you, but because of your resistant stance, you're not going easily. Oh, you're going. Because when you croak, in you go. You're going. You're just not going easily. And the fact that you're not going easily is why you have those hurtful, painful emotions that can even turn into illness. Resistance is only and always, only ever about, did we put enough in that to make you only ever, always ever, only, always, ever. Resistance is only, always, ever, eternally about, it's only ever about you having a vibration that doesn't match what's in there. So you hold yourself out with your own thoughts, which means nobody else, not the economy, not the government, not the other political party, not the other religious groups, not the opponent on the football field, nobody, not ever, is the reason that you are not having the success that you want. Because no one can keep you out of your vortex but you. Unless you want to say, oh, they were there and I saw them. And because I saw them, I didn't allow myself into the vortex. So they really should be different because I might see them again. I don't have the ability to focus. I just look around everywhere. And I might see something that might hold me out of the vortex. So it seems to me that the best plan of action, this is what humans say, seems to me that the best plan of action would be for us to all get together and decide what the perfect one way of life is, and then we'll just make everybody be it, and then it'll be a lot easier. And we say, How is that working out? There has to be some logic that lets you know that if you need even one other person to be different so that you can get in the vortex and be a match to what you're asking for, you're going about it in the wrong way, because you can't make them focus long enough. Do you have a teenager? You can't get them to hold you as their dominant intent. Isn't it, or wasn't it, maybe not for you, but many of you feel shocked that others would have the nerve to care about their life more than yours. I don't think that guy's giving me the best deal he could give me on this purchase. It's like he doesn't even care about me. And when you finally accept that every person on the planet is selfishly oriented, every person on the planet is making their way to their own vortex, and all you've got to do is find a thought that lets you in. Think about the alternative. So you get up in the morning and you really don't want to go to work, but that's the way you make your money for now. So you think, well, in a perfect world, I'd fix that. So I wouldn't go to work. I'd just have my own money coming somehow. And in order to do that, I've got to have a really good idea. So I need to get on the internet and I need to explore all of the ideas and decide what's a really good idea for me. And then I'm really not prepared to do that. I don't have the equipment and I don't have the money to get the equipment, but I'll find some grant. I'll find some way. I'll find somebody that will give me the money so that I can get the equipment so that I can create my own business. And then I'll do as much as I can, but then I might need some employees. And they'll have to come to work. I'm having a hard time working this out because I'm doing this whole thing because I don't want to work. So they probably won't want to work either. So I'll get back on the internet and I'll find those who want to work. That's what I'll do. I'll find those who want to work, and I'll create a business that will be big enough that then they can come and they can work. And we say, or you could just get in the vortex. You could just get in the vortex. You could just find a way of finding a thought that doesn't feel uncomfortable and let the universe who has much better than a Google search engine, who has access to every vibration on the planet, who knows who everyone is, where everyone is, exactly what their vibration is, who will perfectly match you with everything that you have put into your vortex of creation, where law of attraction has already assembled all cooperative components. So the question that we want to put to you is, are you a cooperative component to your own desire? And the answer is usually not. The answer is, if you're feeling elation, yes, but if you're feeling frustration or overwhelmment, or if you're worried, then you are not a vibrational match. You are not a cooperative component to your own creation, to your own vortex. So here's the thing that we want to sort of lay out there for you to bubble in the air as we are moving forward today. Because if you can reconcile this, then all of this will come together easily for you. We just want to ask you this one simple question. Is it easier for you to control the behavior of a substantial number of people and circumstances and events in order to give you something that you can look at that will take you easily into the vortex? Or would it be easier for you to just focus your thoughts on things that take you into the vortex? Well, pretty clear, isn't it? Much of your world is going about it in such a backwards way. They're saying, when I see that, I feel good, but when I see that, I feel bad. So we need to make laws so that that can't happen. And we say, are your laws doing the trick for you? Or are you filling your gels to the brim and building more every day, because the very essence of every single person on the planet is absolute freedom? In other words, you all want it. The freedom you're looking for, hear it, is freedom from your own vibrational discord, which is self-inflicted every single time. And when you discover how to get in the vortex and maintain a certain amount of time in the vortex, you're going to discover freedom beyond anything that you have ever experienced before. And that's what we're rooting for. We're rooting for the alignment of you in your physical form with you